several review videos, but they're few and far between. So it's got a Coyote. It's a factory 5 Type 65 or Shelby Daytona replica. It's got big Willwood brakes. Like I said, Coyote, independent rear suspension, air conditioning, subs, stereo, heated seats. So a lot of people look at a KiT car and they say, oh, it's just a KiT car and everything. But people don't realize people are putting hundreds of thousands of dollars into these cars because you're getting the experience of a $20 million car that you can actually drive on the street, that you can't replicate with a new car with airbags and all this modern electronics and safety features. I mean, you just can't replicate this sound in a new vehicle. You can't replicate the feel. Yeah, it's got independent suspension, so it's pretty comfortable, but you can't replicate just stepping into a time machine, but at the same time being reliable. You don't have to worry about putting miles on it and everything, because really, if you build them right, they don't really depreciate. And that's another thing that people are missing out on. You know, you spend $70,000, $100,000 on a car like this, or you could buy a Corvette. And I made money on my Cobra. I actually made probably about 30% more than I paid for it, and I put a lot of miles on that thing. I think I sold it with 18,000 miles. I got 10,000 on this in 3 years so far. So I'm doing even better than what I did with my Cobra. But yeah, when people say, oh, you know, it's a real or it's a replica, there's only 6 originals, and they go for over $10 million a piece. And so you are getting the looks. A lot of people can't even tell the difference, which I think is kind of weird. But I kind of get that with the Cobra because I made almost 1,000. But there's a 917 Porsche 917 KiT, not RCR. There's one RCR for sale. That's what I wanted to build besides this, and it sold for almost $300,000. And there's a Ferrari KiTs. Of course, you know, you're paying for a Testarossa engine or whatever they end up putting in there, and you know, that's probably, the engine's probably worth several $100,000 in and of itself. But they go for, people are buying them for over $500,000 for a KiT. So when you look at a nice car like this and you say, oh, it's nice for a KiT, well, you're getting the same driving, if not better driving experience, because you got modern brakes and tires. Tires really make a big difference. But you're getting so much more for the money. I get it, like originals. You know, you can't replicate that either. But for, you know, for something you don't have to worry about putting miles on and stuff and depreciating and crashing and all that, because you could just buy another body and everything, it just makes all the sense in the world to me. And it's so much cheaper to own. I mean, insurance on this is $12, and my personal property tax, which on a new Corvette would probably be several $1,000s a year. It's only I think it's like $10 a year. So, and like I said, the biggest thing is they don't really depreciate if you build them right. Now, if you go ahead and you put an LS engine where, you know, a car would originally had a Ford engine or whatever, yeah, you're not gonna really get your money back with that. But if you make it blue or whatever, you'll close the original ones, or what everybody remembers the originals as, then people are gonna really like that. But if you want to make it, you know, all your own too, and, you know, lose something on the back end with the depreciation, that's perfectly fine too, because then you get to drive a car that, you know, like I said, I can't stop saying it enough, is so close to the original, but with just perfected, really. Pulling up to Cars and Coffee now.